Hey guys, so Cosmic Phoenix has been on our servers for a couple of weeks now, and I was waiting to do this video because I wanted to learn a little bit more about how she worked. I wasn't able to get my own copy because she's a bit expensive, and so I just, wanted to make sure I had all the info before doing a summary video. So I'm going to break this down into a few sections, which is I'm going to run over her skills and talents. And then we'll run over how to get her and the best ways to get her, and then I'll run into like tips and tricks about using her maybe, and then finally I'll give my opinion on using her and all of that. So let's get on into it. Alright, so here's the game's Phoenix. I'm not going to go over her skills one by one, but I will just summarize everything to get an idea. I'm sure by now, if you've seen her in peaks, you've seen that she puts a giant flaming sun in the corner. The way that that works is while that's a flaming sun, she gives everybody a shield at the beginning of every turn that gives them a reflect, kind of like Monkey King. Her skill is just damage. Her regular attack hits the backline and basically disables them based on what class they are. The Warrior Cleric one is nothing special. Mage Wanderer, it reduces their final damage. Assassin, it reduces their crit damage. It's pretty good, but nothing you really bank on because you're going to use her regardless of what classes they have in the back anyway. Her second passive kind of gives her bonus stats based on when the enemy or when you fire a skill. That's not something you bank on too heavily. And the final one is her revive, which works kind of interesting. When she dies, her sun, her flaming sun in the corner, turns into a blacked out sun. And while that's active, you're doing big damage to the enemy every single turn. If that damage leads to killing someone, then she revives. So potentially she can actually keep doing that over and over and over, but it's probably going to be rare that you get a kill with specifically that move. So you probably won't bank on seeing her revive non-stop, but the option is there. And so that's kind of cool. Another thing to note is her talents. As Cosmic, she doesn't have the same talents as the other factions, so her talent 3, she's got some other cool stuff. This is a bubble that when they break it, you instantly stun, freeze, petrify 3 random enemies. This one is kind of like the Alliance one, but a little bit better because it gives all enemies shield breaking effect. It increases her damage reduce and gives her control resistance. A little bit better than the Alliance one, but very similar. And then this one is similar to the Horde one, which gives plus attack for 5 rounds and all that stuff. The general idea is that she is a top class support. Giving that flame shield reflect is really nice. Having the option to revive is nice, especially if she dies and does damage every single turn. It's a pretty decent amount of damage here, 280% absolute damage, which is a new thing that ignores defense. So she has options for damage. She basically gives enemies here on her skill. She also reduces skill damage resistance by 25%. So basically no matter what star she is, she's going to have options to revive. She's going to have options to debuff the enemy. She's going to have options to buff herself. It's been proven that even a 9-star Cosmic Phoenix is a very helpful addition to even a team that's all T5 red, even against multiple Nyxes. So she's still useful. She's always useful at any star. That's basically the sum of it. So now let's go into how you obtain her. To get her, you have to go to your building, and this is the new building that they gave us. It only needs to be level 2. It goes up to level 3, but you don't actually need to go up to level 3. That's just kind of a waste of resources. If you did it anyway just for OCD, then so be it, but it didn't actually give you any buffs that you needed. You were already able to hit the maximum level of the territory without this building at all, so there is really no need to go to level 3. How you get her is you use these stars and you convert an existing Phoenix anywhere. You must start from 6 stars, but you convert anything from 6 stars all the way to T5 red straight into a Cosmic Phoenix. It uses these stars, and here it'll tell you how many stars you need in order to do it. You can start from 6 stars and have this. You can start from 7, and it'll cost you less. But the idea is, if you start from less, it's going to cost you stars to upgrade them. And here, let me show you a picture from Perun on my cluster. He has a 9-star Cosmic, and as you can see, it's the same type of upgrade from 9 to 10 stars, but it uses extra colorful stars, the cosmic crystals, to do it. So whether or not you start from 6 star or you start from T5, it's really going to end up costing you 90 crystals no matter what. So it's kind of up to you where you want to go. One thing to note is that because once you do this converting, you lose your Phoenix. It actually just completely becomes Cosmic Phoenix. You may want to, if you really like having your Phoenix, then you may want to start anew and start from a 6 star and just level it up that way. The downside of that is that you will need 34 copies of Phoenix because upgrading it only uses Phoenix copies, and by the way, breaking it down only gives back Phoenix copies and only part of the stars you use, so breaking her down isn't worth it. And so all of that is something to take into account. I think in my case, I would rather start a new Cosmic Phoenix from scratch because, again, I really do like having my Phoenix as a damage buffer for multiple sources, like Den, Planet Trial, bosses, and all that. How do you get the stars is you use these cubes that they give you. They gave out a few so far. This is how I have 10. And you use them, and each one you use gives you 4 or 8 points towards this. So it basically takes you 250 cubes to get 1 full bar. And 1 full bar, you can see, gives you 5. So you would say that you need 18 full bars in order to do it, which is 18 times 250, which is 4,500. But the answer is you don't actually need that much. First of all, you can crit, and I don't know what the crit rate is because it's not listed, but sometimes you get 8. And then also, as you're doing it, you're basically, every cube that you roll gives you one of these prizes at random. And so you can see here that there's a 0.3% chance to get 5 cubes. So that's basically 1 in 300, 333. So if we assume that you're every 350, 400 cubes, you're going to get an extra 5. We're going to assume that you only need maybe 12, maybe 11, 12 bars worth to do it. And if you count the cost of that, the cost from 0 is about $2,000, let's give or take. So that's what it is to get to T5 red from scratch, and it's very expensive. One thing to note is because of every cube you use, it fills this bar, but this bar resets weekly, so it's best not to use any cubes at all unless you have 100 at once, it's because this 100 gives you moonstones. Stopping here is just, I feel like it's not worth it with how rare cubes are going to be. They've started to give us stars and cubes in weekly events. We've seen that keys and miracle eyes give 1 star, 1 cosmic crystal per completion. So like over time, you'll eventually get there, but you're still looking at a really, really, really long time. However, like I said, if even a 9-star cosmic phoenix can fit on a team, and a 9-star phoenix is 9, it costs 9 cosmic crystals to make, you may want to aim towards rushing to that real fast and then working on the rest of it very, very slowly because she's still useful even at that level. So that's basically how you obtain Cosmic Phoenix. Prohibitively expensive. So we'll just say that she's not really reachable for free to play or like small spenders. It's just really expensive and something that they've added. Another thing to note is that in Planet Trial, because of how Cosmic Factions work, there is no such limit on the Cosmic Faction. So you are able to use your Phoenix in every single Planet Trial no matter what. So handy, I guess, not really major. Remember that people are reaching 300 with just a couple of Nixes and a Bryn, so I don't think that she's too required for Planet Trial. If you're looking for some help in getting along there, she's not worth the cost just for that. So my final thought is they really didn't need to add Cosmic Phoenix to the game. I feel like it's just another aspect of the game that we're all going to be looking at and go, oh, that's nice, but we'll never really reach. It's possible that they'll do something to speed up getting these resources at a later time, similar to what they did when they added the Genesis 2 gear. We were all ready to completely forget that they existed, and then they completely revamped Forge Master to put it within our range. So maybe someday they'll speed this up by a little bit, but because it's so expensive and takes so long, if they drop the time to get it from 3 years down to 1, I don't think that that's really all that impressive. So, we'll have to kind of see how they really want to handle this, and especially knowing that the world is all about Nyx right now, and that Cosmic Phoenix is not directly a Nyx counter and doesn't do much against him specifically. I don't know what the goal is. It's basically just something fancy to look at. I think reaching the 2 stars to get a 6-star Cosmic Phoenix is going to be completely fine. And but I don't think a 6-star Cosmic Phoenix will hold up against T5 Reds. You probably want to be at least 8, 9, 10 star before seriously taking her into battle at that point. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't really know what the best gear is for her yet because we haven't seen too many of her in action. If you are curious about fighting one and you are in Legend Arena, then you can always go to the Battle Temple, and there's more than a few people in here that have one. There's a couple here that have a T5 Red Cosmic Phoenix already. Everybody that's tried to fight her says that she just blows them up anyway, so you know, you're welcome to give it a shot and see how you do, and maybe you can help us find counters for her if they exist at this time. We don't know. So that is everything that I think we need to know about Cosmic Phoenix, and I hope that this video helped you make a decision about her. But again, the general idea is if you're not spending a whole ton of money, just kind of forget she exists and be really happy if you see her in peaks, and that's really all you need to think about. That's all for this video. See you guys next time.